Listen up. I won't sugarcoat it. This is the longest cold, flu, and allergy season we've ever seen, but we're not alone. We've got Instacart. Sure, you may be a coughing snot faucet who just wants mommy, but you're not giving up! Not when cold medicine, fragrant herbal teas, and honey shaped like bears can be delivered through Instacart in as fast as 30 minutes! Now let's go win the sick playoffs!
Daddy, I just want my soup.
Oh, sorry, Sport. App says it'll be here in a few minutes. Instacart for the win.
How powerful is Cox Internet? Powerful enough to let your band members in Vegas, Phoenix, and Rhode Island jam like you're all in the same garage. Get Cox Internet powered by fiber with America's fastest download speeds. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, always building better. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial connection. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.
Mike Kennedy with us, voice of the Shockers. Mike, hello.
Hi, Bob.
Good to have you back on the air last night for the broadcast of the Shockers and their big win against Tulsa at Koch Arena. How you doing?
Good. I feel fine, actually, and it was good to be back. Felt a lot more normal.
Well, are you going to be going on the road on their next road swing? They got a couple road games left.
I am. By missing that trip last week and those two games, I stayed on kind of the optimum schedule for all of this, and so as long as I continue to feel okay, I shouldn't miss any more games. I'll make the trip next week, planning to go to Tulane, and then I'll actually finish the radiation treatments that I'm doing the day we go to Fort Worth. So.
Okay, well, good. We obviously, like all others, we wish you the very best as you battle this. So we're in your corner.
Well, thank you. It's been great. I mean, I've had so many people contact me and respond, and it's been really very gratifying, very heartwarming. I just been overwhelmed, to tell you the truth. And I'll be on. One thing I wanted to get out there when we went public with it was just to encourage all men to get regular checkups so you can catch something like this in a timely manner if it comes up. And then the other thing I'd like people to know is I think we all feel sometimes a little helpless or don't know what to say when somebody's going through something, whether it's a loss or an illness. And I can just tell you from experience now that just little wishing you well type of comments really lift your spirits and really help.
Yeah.
And so I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate all of that.
So before I get to Jeff talking to you and asking you a question or whatever he wants to do, we just had Larry Jaster on the show. He was a Cardinals pitcher back in the 60s.
I remember.
In 1966, he shut out the Dodgers 5 times in one season. And I regard that as maybe one of the most incredible stats of all time. Do you remember any of that?
I remember it happening, and I remember him. I've got I don't think I ever saw him pitch in St. Louis, but I've got a couple of Cardinal yearbooks from that era with him in them, and yeah, certainly I remember that season. And that Dodger team he shut out went to the World Series, so that was an incredible accomplishment.
Yeah, I'm just dumbfounded by it. Go ahead, Jeff.
So, Mike, what were your feelings, I guess, about missing a couple games and the streak ending? I don't know if anyone's ever had a streak like that or will ever have a streak like that again. I know the number of games that you've done isn't how you are judged as a broadcaster. You've done amazing work regardless. So was any weight off your shoulders? Did you feel any of that? Or what did you kind of go through?
The streak was kind of something that I just got curious about a number of years ago and realized I was kind of coming up on 1,000. So then I started keeping track of it, and it was, a source of pride and something that I didn't want to end unless I had to. But this was something that it honestly wasn't that difficult a decision. And my oncologist was great. He would have been okay with me making that trip and pushing the finish of the treatments back a little bit. But I just felt like that's getting a little silly just to try to keep this thing going when I need to really concentrate on this. And so it really wasn't a hard decision, and I think he was pleased that I made the decision I did. So once I came to that point, it was odd not being there. It really started when I knew everybody was getting on the plane to fly down there. That really felt odd. But once it actually took place, I'd come to grips with it, and I was fine with it. And then it was during that first game at East Carolina that I was getting all this response after we announced it on the air and sent out a release. And so that really kind of changed the whole perspective. It became really about that and not about me missing a game.
Mike Kennedy, our guest, voice of the Shockers. Let's ask you about the basketball team. Last night they were impressive. They looked good. Kenny Poto played like we always have expected Kenny Poto to play. Colby Rogers knocked down shots. They really took it to Tulsa. So I guess why haven't we seen more of that? And how much more of it do you think is realistic to expect the rest of the way?
That's a hard one to answer in terms of how much this might carry on going forward. I mean, part of the issue with this team all year has been there really honestly hasn't been much of anyone that you could really kind of know what to expect from one game to the next. And I think most coaches would tell you that they would prefer, even if they know this guy is only going to give you a a certain level that's pretty good, not great, but you know you're going to get that every game. That's helpful to a coach in game planning and that sort of thing. And that hasn't happened too much this year. Colby Rogers has been a really, really good player all year, but he is the one shooter, and everybody knows that, and he has gotten so much attention. It's been hard for him to, have the same, have really good nights night after night. But part of it, too, is this is a really nice group of young men. Sometimes maybe you needed a little fire, and I think maybe the meeting on Monday that's been pretty well publicized now kind of laid it down as to, what this is going to have to be going forward. And I think we saw some response to that last night. Now, whether or not they will continue that and sustain that, it's hard to say. But, they've shown on any given night that they can at least hang with the best teams in the conference. But there are certainly some deficiencies personnel-wise against some of those teams. And so the margin for error is pretty thin.
So you've had a lot of basketball conversations, obviously, with Paul Mills, but I'm sure off the air and during breaks of the show and everything like that, you've talked to him about other stuff. So, what kind of person is he? What have been your impressions of just him as a guy?
He is a tremendous person. I really mean that. And, certainly this year has been frustrating in a lot of ways, but he doesn't wear that on his sleeve. He doesn't and if he has something to say to the team about what's going on, it's not in a vindictive way. It's always still in a teaching way of trying to help them get better. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't yell at them sometimes and that sort of thing. And people may, some fans fear maybe he's not intense enough. He's plenty intense, especially in practice. But to your initial question, he really is a really good guy who cares about all the right things, who cares about his players, and I think that will come through as people get to know him better.
Well, Mike, we as we said at the outset, we're very firmly, obviously, in your corner. I've known you a long time. You're a tough old bird, and we wish you the best as you continue this battle. Is your plan to be out on baseball as much as you have been? Are you looking to be out there full time for baseball?
I am. I don't see anything changing at this point. I'm far enough into the treatment that if I were going to experience much in the way of side effects, from what I've been told, I would be experiencing a little more right now. And I really am not experiencing anything. It's still possible, going forward that I could, and that typically is more in the form of fatigue than anything else. So, that could change, but so far I've been very fortunate. I feel like it's going as well as it could be, and still don't know, there's no guarantees about what the outcome's going to be, but it's hopeful, it's optimistic, and if that continues, I plan to stick with my normal schedule.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show. We'll get with you before the Shockers head to Fort Worth for the AAC tournament. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for your interest and good feelings. I appreciate it very much, guys.
How powerful is Cox Internet? Powerful enough to let your band members in Vegas, Phoenix, and Rhode Island jam like you're all in the same garage. Get Cox Internet powered by fiber with America's fastest download speeds. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, always building better. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial connection. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.
Odyssey celebrates Black History Month this February on the free Odyssey app with the music celebrating the best Black artists. Download the free Odyssey app and search Black Icons and listen to the ultimate in Black excellence. John Coltrane, Aretha Franklin, Prince, Beyonce, and more. Or listen to live stations from across the U.S. representing communities celebrating the culture this month and all year long. It's all on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. Download it today.